Welcome to LabNotes. And today we have a return guest. It's one of my favorite interviews is Audrey Greenberg. Audrey, I'm so glad you could come back and talk with us today.
Thank you so much, Joe. I always love talking to you.
Well, you have been garnering all kinds of accolades lately. You're like you're a celebrity.
Oh my
Celebrity
goodness.
status. So congratulations on all of them.
Thank you so
Philadelphia
much.
Business Journal, Philadelphia Magazine. They all know you're up to something really, really powerful out there.
Yeah, and it's all for the patient. So very pleased to be recognized for that.
So Audrey, I thought you've had some really meaningful news of late with SK Pharmteco, and I think I'd like to spend time talking about that, but I'd also like to go back to the inception of the Center for Breakthrough Medicine. You've been at this now for a while. You're a seasoned warrior in the biotech sector, and but how did this all come to be? How did you decide one day that you were going to enter the contract manufacturing space?
Yeah, it's never a linear path. Business ideas come from many places, and it's really about seizing opportunities as they present themselves. And we had acquired this big GSK legacy pharma building and really originally had come up with the idea to repurpose the pharma grade infrastructure and investment for small biotechs in the Philadelphia area and really around the world. And as we were showing the space from tenant to tenant, quickly realized there was a huge demand for biopharma manufacturing capacity, specifically in cell and gene therapy, given the cost of clean rooms at $2,000 a foot with equipment. And no one really willing to speculatively build that space. So we, through our partnership with Deerfield Management in New York, came to realize the shortage of vector capacity and then cell therapy capacity, and really had a build it and they will come philosophy, and really started building the CDMO with filling out our lack of knowledge really in biomanufacturing. My background is from investment banking and private equity. And I understand what it takes to sort of raise money and run a company, but we really needed expertise in vector manufacturing, cell therapy manufacturing, and now we have 400 of those manufacturing experts that were hired here from around the world.
Incredible story. I mean, really, just a complete dive into the deep end.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, is there anything from the start to now? Anything that stands out that you guys did that was either incredibly smart or that you'd love to have the chance to do over again?
There's always lessons learned, right? And if we weren't learning and we weren't failing here and there, we wouldn't be learning. So I would say, look, we understood the market opportunity. We invested, and whether we could control it or not, something happened called the pandemic, right? And so there were supply chain constraints. Had we known that was coming, I think we would have built more quickly prior to March 2020. But we began construction sort of after that, which caused us to go slower than we would have liked. So I guess if I could have changed anything, is that we would have probably built more before the pandemic hit. But we were very nimble and we modified our approach through COVID and beyond. And we now have a floor of viral vector suites online where we're manufacturing for patients and for manufacturers today. Our cell therapy suites are set to come online in 2024. We have plasmid suites online now with our GMP plasmid suites coming online next year. So we're super pleased to have brought on all of this capacity. And it was really based on patient needs. So there were clinical and commercial successes from the FDA in terms of approvals for cures for patients that were previously uncurable, and bringing this capacity online for those patients and for their families was really important.
Audrey, you spoke to where you are in terms of what's up and what's coming in 24. In terms of the continuum, Center for Breakthrough Medicine is the largest tenant at the Discovery Labs. And,
Yep.
It's not an insignificant amount of space, about 650,000 feet. By the end of 24, are you about halfway to having stood up everything, or are you are you? Tell us a little bit about where you are on that continuum of building the vision out completely.
Yeah, that's a good question. So my vision now and the lens that I look at life through is the SK Pharmteco lens. So SK Pharmteco is our parent company. We merged with a couple months ago. And I would say we're in the first inning of all the ambitious plans we have for SK Pharmteco. We have now with our 5 CDMOs that were really part of, for lack of a better word, a roll-up strategy by SK, which is the second largest company in South Korea, through their SK Pharmteco entity. We have small molecule capabilities, including chemical synthesis. We have all the wraparound testing and analytics, not only for small molecule, but also for cell and gene therapy and biologics for that matter. We have viral vector manufacturing capacity in both France and in the US, and we have bi-coastal capacity for small molecule. Sorry, not just bi-coastal, but global. So we have Korea, yeah, Ireland, Texas, California, Virginia. So it's a really nice global footprint in terms of our capacity for SK Pharmteco. And I would say that our plans are really to look at both organic and strategic growth. We are focused on expanding our portfolio into new modalities and potential disruptors in our space. So always looking on the horizon. But in terms of our space here in King of Prussia, which I think is what your specific question was, yeah, we have plans for 650,000 square feet. We have about 350,000 square feet either online or under construction. So the plan is to build, we wanted our first set of modalities to be online sort of regardless of demand. So like a model home, so to speak, and get our experience under our belt. And then as customer demand comes at us, we bring these new suites online. So we're doing that now, and we continue to build based on demand, but we have a lot of demand coming our way. Our pipeline is incredible. We have great clients that we're working with now, and those relationships are always expanding.
You know, one of the things that I got from you in a previous conversation was that part of what was driving this, and this, it may have in part come from the relationship that you all have with Jim Wilson and some of the work that you're doing together there, but is the understanding of what it means to be a small, growing drug development company working with a CDMO. And I think you bring something slightly different to the equation than perhaps some of the long-standing competitors that are in the space. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we have a very different way of doing business than the standard CDMOs. We're very collaborative. We are a partnership model. And I think that bodes well for not just the small biotechs, which love it because they're developing their processes. They need really robust hands-on help with their process development and analytical development for that matter. But the big pharmas also like it too. So it bodes well for all potential clients. Everybody wants to know, CBM is the first fully digital CDMO. And so having that portal where customers can just go access their information for purposes of analyzing specific information, perhaps doing artificial intelligence on batch success, we're able to provide that data to them on a real-time basis. So the fact that we built this and invested early in this infrastructure has been very much appreciated from the small biotechs and the large pharma alike. And our hands-on, very collaborative approach is always a win.
So you indicated that one of the main things coming out of the SK Pharmteco investment is that you can accelerate and expand what you're doing. That's really exciting. How does this relationship with call it a parent entity, does that change anything in terms of how you operate locally?
I wouldn't say it only changes it for the better, right? I mean, look, SK Pharmteco has 80 years of experience through their Ampac Analytical acquisition, Ampac Fine Chemical acquisition, which is a CDMO based in Sacramento. So they've been in the business a long time, and being able to mend both entities together, put our strengths in there, and learn from each other in terms of best practices. And what they really bring to the table is a really strong regulatory track record. And so we love to leverage their regulatory experience with the FDA, EMA, and different regulatory authorities. We have a really robust, if you haven't been able to tell, marketing machine, right, at CBM. And so taking our digital marketing presence, taking their regulatory track record, their manufacturing expertise, our manufacturing expertise and advanced modalities really creates a best in practice, a best in class CDMO across multiple modalities and around the world.
So we've covered a lot. I think the thing that I'm actually most interested in, you talked about 24 and bringing new capacity online. What's in store? What should we be ready to hear about as we think about what's coming out of Upper Merion? What's going to be the next big thing that we're going to hear from all of you?
Yeah, I mean, our GMP plasmids coming online, our GMP cell therapy coming online, a continued expansion of our testing and analytics platform, as well as our viral vector manufacturing platform. And through our partnership with SK Pharmteco, oligonucleotides and ADCs, which are a huge hit right now in the market in terms of immuno-oncology, are really going to be a game changer for the company and the industry.
Well, Audrey, thanks again for coming and joining us today. We're really excited about what's happening. It looks like the future is very bright as we navigate this capitally constrained. It's nice to have a deep-pocketed capital partner to really make things happen. So congratulations on getting that done, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Thank you so much, Joe, and congratulations on all you guys have built at Colliers. Philadelphia is a huge recipient of all the hard work you've done in life sciences. So thank you on behalf of all of us.